Hey guys, Noel here, and it is Saturday night, and before I go to bed, I thought it would be fun to do a video game review for the video game section of the YouTube channel, and today we will be playing an arcade game that I encountered in my youth. I enjoyed, I never beat, because my friend walked in the back of the arcade machine and pulled the plug out of the back of it when I was at the final part of the video game, and that, my friends, is WWF Wrestlemania, the arcade game. We are going to be playing this for the Sony PlayStation. I'm really interested to check out the Sega Saturn version of this game, because the Sega Saturn version of WWF in your house is a lot better than the PlayStation version. But this PlayStation version of this game is quite good, and I actually bought this game when I was in, I think, 8th or 9th grade from a kid at my high school. So yeah, this is a cool game, and I always have that memory of almost beating it, and then my buddy Peter walking in the back of the machine and yanking the plug out. Terrible what he did to me. So without further ado, let's get down to playing WWF the arcade game, and we'll see what the new generation of WWF Superstars has to offer on the Sony PlayStation. So we will turn our camera around, like so, to our lovable professional video monitor, which is playing the game right now. Actually, why don't we move our speaker as well?
Charging.
Put our volume up, but not too much. And we see the Wrestlemania instrumental theme playing. If you have Wrestlemania the album, you will recognize the music of this. The lyric version of the song is great. It's produced by Simon Cowell, and it goes, "Oh, oh, Wrestlemania, yeah, this is our life," so on and so forth. So, the PlayStation faithfully reproduces the roster of characters in the arcade version. Noticeably lacking is Big Daddy Cool Diesel, who I believe was the heavyweight champ at the time. It might have been Bret Hart, I'm not sure. But Diesel, Bret Hart, and Shawn Michaels, they were all knocking around in the heavyweight champion picture. So you've got Bret Hart, the American hero Lex Luger, Bam Bam Bigelow, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Yokozuna, Razor Ramon, and Doink the Clown. And this is WWF's new generation of superstars. I preferred WCW in 1994 and 95, but I also enjoyed WWF. I preferred the 80s style of over-the-top comic book Hulk Hogan-centered wrestling of WCW, and I thought that their roster went a little deeper as far as depth of talent, but the WWF was great nonetheless, and I really enjoyed watching WWF Superstars every Saturday morning, and so I really enjoyed this game when it came out. So the options screen is right in the character select screen, and I highly recommend turning blocking off. It makes this game a lot more fun. For the sake of this review, let's put it at easy, and I think that'll do it. And we will choose my favorite wrestler in the WWF, Bret the Hitman Hart. This game is narrated by Vince McMahon and Jerry the King Lawler. I actually prefer Vince McMahon and Mr. Perfect in WWF in your house, but nevertheless, this is still a great crew. We'll go for the WWF Championship. And when you go for the WWF title, you will fight all handicap matches. I love how for the loading screens you get these cool logos of each character's name in original font. And the gameplay of this game is pretty basic. You basically have a super attack button, which is triangle. And you have a button for kick, which is circle. And basically you have a light punch button, which is square. And basically, you just have to hit direction pads, hit the D-pad in different directions, and basically mash the buttons. That's essentially how I play this game. I do have some method to my madness, but I am by no means an expert at this game. But it is just a kind of a fun, relaxing game to play, and I really love the digitized graphics. Why can I not get back in the ring here? There we go. Ah! Jeez. I was talking about how over-the-top WCW was at the time, and with the Dungeon of Doom and the giant being thrown off of roofs, and Hulk Hogan and Vader teleporting out of the Dungeon of Doom, and all kinds of insanity. And this game faithfully does that on the WWF side. So basically, this game is... if you watch WCW, the craziness in WCW actually happened in the actual TV show of WCW, and not in this Mortal Kombat NBA Jam-styled video game. So take that for whatever it's worth. There are, I believe, 7 matches that you have to go through before you get to the Wrestlemania Challenge. And there's actually a variety of cheat codes. And the Wrestlemania Challenge is the final level of this game where you basically have to win a battle royal against all of these characters. Now, the downside is that on the PlayStation version... Oh, jeez. Just like WrestleMania 9. So what ends up happening is, for the PlayStation, since the PlayStation has some pretty noticeable load times, every time a character gets knocked out, the PlayStation has to load the new character, and so you basically get a little loading screen with the character coming into the Battle Royale's face in the bottom of the screen. It's nothing too major, but it is a little awkward. It kind of ruins the flow of the game. Graphics are incredibly sharp and beautiful, and I don't know if you can tell how good this game looks on this monitor, but it looks fantastic. There are, at least for The Undertaker, there is a secret finishing move that's kind of like a fatality, where he pins the guy and bats come out of him. In WWF In Your House, each character has their own secret pinning move, and I cannot execute those at all. I have no idea how to do those. I've tried, I'm not good at them, I gotta practice more. You'll notice also, unlike WWF In Your House, this game only has one level. And sadly, this game has no serious ending to it. In the arcade version, there were really funny endings, and they've actually recently made some YouTube videos about those. Actually, I think just one YouTube video about those endings, and it's from a YouTuber I follow. His name's Wang, and he's a cool Asian guy out of Queens who has a kind of a Pringles guy mustache and hipster glasses, and he did a great video about the kind of crazy endings of the arcade version of this game. And sadly, I don't think they're featured in the PlayStation version. I've tried multiple times to try to get those endings. And this game does have a cheat code, actually, where you can get invincibility, and I've used that, and I've cranked up the difficulty to hard, so I've never lost a match and beaten this game, and I got no ending, so I don't know what else to do. And I beat it on the WrestleMania Challenge. You'll notice that when you hit your opponents, things fly out of them that are based on their characters. So Yokozuna's a big giant sumo wrestler, so giant ham legs fly out of him. When you fight Bret Hart, pink hearts and sunglasses fly out of him, that kind of thing. Lex Luger hits you with the Statue of Liberty, all kinds of fun insanity. And again, I really enjoy these types of graphics, and people will tend to say that they look dated, and I don't know. I think this game holds up visually incredibly well, and I've really yet to play one of those newer WWE games that I've really liked. But this is just, cool, over-the-top arcade fun. Now, In Your House, the sequel to this game, each wrestler has their own thematic ring, but here we just have the same ring. And I know in the Sega Saturn version, there are some extra bells and whistles. That is the trade-off for that is the PlayStation has a slightly sharper picture, but the Saturn versions of these always had a little bit more. So I believe the Saturn version of this game has Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler in the background. That's what I've heard. I need to actually look into that. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. Again, I love how each character has their own very cool designed logo. You really, it might look like I'm playing this game kind of cheap, but when you're playing it, you really have to stay right on your opponents. This game plays a lot slower with blocking. I really don't like it with blocking anywhere nearly as much as being able just to, have both you and your opponent hammer each other. Well, Bret Hart beat his eternal rival Shawn Michaels. This is, I think, the coolest look for The Undertaker. I really don't like the Undertaker when he, is not just wearing, like, cool, undead Texas Undertaker clothes mixed with 80s aerobic clothes. I mean, he can pull that look off, and not many people can, so he should do it all the time. I listened to 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff, and he's always talking about how he differentiated WCW from WWF by making it more realistic. But at this time, the WCW was differentiated from the WWF by being less realistic, and I appreciated that. I really enjoyed the less realistic, over-the-top storylines in the WCW. More than the entertaining but comparatively bland storylines of the WWF New Generation. And it showed, because WCW was starting to beat WWF in the ratings in this time, before the NWO even came. If you look at Nitro versus Raw, right off the bat, Nitro is competitive to beating it. Man, and I was not competitive in that match. I just got smoked in that. Jeez. The WrestleMania challenge is incredibly difficult, but you can't beat. It's beatable. It's not unbeatable. This game would benefit from some background music. Oh, jeez, darn it. All right. Well, we lost with Bret Hart. For the sake of this review, we might want to try a different wrestler here. But I am the best with Bret Hart, so let's try the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. Although I do think I've heard Yokozuna is very good at this game. I haven't by any means mastered all of the characters in this game. Their moves are pretty similar. But I haven't spent enough time with this game like I have with WWF in Your House, which I bought, right when it came out in stores and just played the heck out of it. This was just something that I always just kind of had on the side and played it here and there. But I enjoy it, and I want to do a review of it. Now, Shawn Michaels, I think he plays a little slower than Bret. He's got a baseball bat. Nice. Trying to kind of do these roundhouse super kicks here. Oh, jeez. WrestleMania 9 is one of my all-time favorite WrestleManias, where Hulk beats Yokozuna to help Bret Hart out. I thought that was great, even though Bret Hart hated it, but I loved it, so. And in the end, aren't the fans supposed to be the ones that are happy? So Shawn's got a nice Hurricane Rana move right there. Jeez, darn it. No. No, don't beat me. No! Stop, let me up. I'm gonna lose. Maybe not. Got him. Took him to the Heartbreak Hotel. Well, here we go. It's the WrestleMania Challenge. I think at this point we have to try to beat the game. So, what ends up happening here is it's going to be me versus three at a time. And I'm probably not going to do well this going around because I am much more used to playing as Bret Hart than Shawn Michaels. Even when they fought each other, I always preferred Bret to Shawn. But I love Shawn Michaels too, don't get me wrong. Hulk Hogan's the best though. Best good guy, best bad guy. And his Japanese matches are really great if you like, you want to see a different side of him, pulling out more technical maneuvers. So here we see it's loading for Bam Bam here. Yeah, it does not have to load for the other Shawn Michaels, though, because it's already got the data for the character in the game, because I'm Shawn Michaels, so. Here comes Lex Luger, the All-American hero, formerly the Narcissist. No, 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 no! Let me go, no, 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 no! Ah, jeez. I'm gonna lose. Well, it's the end of that. I've heard Yokozuna's good, so I'm tempted to try him. Alright. Bam Bam. Bam Bam. I remember when Yokozuna debuted as Owen Hart's tag partner. That was fantastic. He came in with a bunch of stubble, and he was just like incredibly intimidating. Very, very cool. Yeah, Yokozuna is pretty good. Come on, Yoko, stay on him. I heard Yokozuna almost joined the NWO. That would have been really cool. Alright, good job, Undertaker. Beating up Shawn Michaels for me. So we're counting down to 5. Let's stay on him, Yoko. No, no, no. Got that uppercut. So you see how this game gets kind of disjointed at this point in the game because of the PlayStation's technical limitations. I hate that electric shock that Doink does. I'm just going to spam that salt punch. Come on. Got him. Alright, we beat the game. Doskoi. Alright, Yokozuna, one of the best big men ever. And this is the ending. It's kind of anticlimactic. If you beat In Your House, each character has their own montage ending with their theme song playing. It's really great. And apparently, when you beat the arcade version of this, there's like really funny endings to talk about the character. Like Razor Ramon goes back to Cuba and loses all of his money, and Shawn Michaels is torn apart by women. It sounds really fun, but none of that seems to be in this game, which is disappointing. But there we have it. This is Wrestlemania, the arcade game for the Sony PlayStation. Some fantastic digitized action. And, rumor has it that there may have been some WWF Easter eggs that were planned in Mortal Kombat 2, which came out right around this time. So I would not have been surprised, because I do think there is a WWF logo in the code of Mortal Kombat 2. So you can look into that. But, what are you going to do? So, this is our review. Let's turn our camera around like so. And so there we have it. That is Wrestlemania, the arcade game for the Sony PlayStation. I highly recommend it. Till next time, guys, my name is Noel. You take care, and be sure to watch lots of WWF New Generation. Bye-bye.